Welcome to Beachbody Pilates. You will need a mat and a hand towel for this workout. Let's begin in a seated position, and we're going to start with the knees bent, placing the feet flat against the mat. Holding lightly on the backs of your thighs, round your back, draw your abs in tight, and slowly lower yourself down onto your back. We'll start with the warm-up. Bring your legs to a 90-degree angle, keeping your pelvis parallel to the floor. Extend one leg away from you, pointing through your toe, and then exhale, bend the knee back to that 90-degree angle. Try it on the other side. Inhaling as you extend, exhale as you bend. Make sure your pelvis is staying parallel to the floor and your abs are drawn in tight. Now let's try that with both legs. Inhale, reach the legs out. Exhale, bend them back in. Get used to using your abdominals to control the motion of your legs. Watch that you're not overarching your lower back, and try to keep your shoulders and the backs of your arms pressed into the floor. Good, now let's have the upper body. Reach your arms overhead, exhale, press your shoulders down and lift that upper back off the floor. Inhale, lower your head, reaching those arms over. Exhale, curl up over the top of your rib cage. Just really think about pressing your shoulders and your ribs down towards your hips as you lift that upper back off of the floor. Now let's hold that lifted position and go back to your legs. Inhale, extending one leg, exhale, bending it back in, alternating sides. Keep the shoulders lifted, the chin in towards your chest, and your neck relaxed. Energy reaching out through the arms. Good, now take both legs out, exhale back in. Watch that lower back. Keep the pelvis parallel to the floor, extend long through the legs, and bend them back in towards your chest. Now let's move into our first exercise, the V-stretch. You're going to extend both arms and both legs. Inhale, reach the arms and legs. Exhale, press down. Try to keep that upper back and head lifted off the mat the entire time. Chin stays in towards your chest, looking at your pelvis, making sure it's staying parallel to the floor. Now, the bigger you make your V, the more challenging this move becomes. So start small and progress your way into a larger range of motion. Great job. Now hug your knees into your chest and stretch your lower back. Let's move on from here, placing the feet on the floor, and go ahead and find your towel. You want to roll it up and place it in between your knees. From here, we're going to move into bridge squeeze. So squeeze your inner thighs and lift your hips as high off your mat as you can, and then slowly come back down. Exhale as you bridge the hips, squeeze into that towel, and release down to the floor. Now keep your arms actively pressing into your mat and your neck nice and long here. Good. At the top of that bridge, think about lengthening the bottom of your ribs down towards the tops of your hips. Keep bracing the belly button into your spine, pressing not only with your legs, but lifting through those abdominals as well. Now go ahead and hold that position and reach your arms towards your head, and then exhale, press down to your hips. Inhale back, exhale, press down. Keeping just that upper back on the floor, you want to lift the rest of the spine and the pelvis off the ground as you maintain that bridge. Keep squeezing into the towel with your knees, keeping those inner thighs active. Good. Use your breath with that arm movement. Inhale back, exhale, press down. And now from here, let's lower the hips to the floor. Now go ahead and grab the towel again. And we're going to move on to our roll-up reach. So you want to extend the towel back out, holding either end between your hands, keeping the towel pulled tight. Take the legs apart, a little wider than hip distance apart, and flex your feet. Inhale the arms back. Exhale, begin to roll up through your spine. Now as you're lifting, start to reach past one leg, twisting to the side, and then scoop the belly in. Lower back to the floor, reach those arms overhead. Exhale, round through the spine, turn your body to the side, reach across the leg, tuck the tailbone, press the shoulders down, and lower back to the floor. Now, if you're not able to sit all the way up yet, just roll up as high as you can, reach to the side, and then lower back through the center. Pull the shoulders down to your hips, keep those feet flexed. Try to keep the backs of the thighs pressed into your mat as you roll up and down through the spine. You're doing great. Just a couple more. Remember to breathe. Keep the shoulders pressed away from your ears and those abs lifted in and up towards your back. Great job. Now go ahead and bend the knees in towards your body, and let's move on from here. Lift the legs up towards the sky, turning them out from your hips, keeping the toes pointed. Lift your upper back off the floor, extend your arms by your ears, and then lower the legs, exhaling them in towards the body, inhaling them away from you. Keep the pelvis parallel to the ground, again watching that lower back isn't arching off the floor. Keep the towel pulled tight, arms are extended just outside of your ears. We want to try to keep the shoulder blades lifted off the mat. Inhale to lower, exhale to bring the legs back in. Make sure as the legs come back over your hips, you're not allowing your tailbone to come off the floor. Good, give me one more. And exhale the legs back in, hug them into your chest, take a quick stretch. We're gonna move on to knee drops from here. Bending the knees 90 degrees, turn and reach away from the legs with the towel. Inhale as you twist away, exhale as you come back in, alternating sides each time. Now you can keep your head on the floor or make this more of a challenge by lifting the head, neck, and shoulder blades off of the ground as you continue to twist and reach away from those legs. Keep the abs braced in nice and tight and allow those hips to turn as you reach to the side. Make sure you don't go too far to the side. We don't let the knees touch the floor. And give me one more here. And relax back. Nice work. Moving on to leg scissors. Extend the legs to the ceiling, turn out from your hips, lift your upper back off the floor, and you're going to give me a double pulse in with the leg, scissor, and switch. Keep the abs drawn in nice and tight and bend the knees if you need to tap that towel. Now let's make these single scissors. Just take it in a little faster, one at a time. Ready? Here we go. And tap, tap, tap. Good. Aim towards that towel. Think of it as your finish line for those legs. Keep that upper back lifted, abs drawn in, nice and tight. Great job. Now let's move on to crisscross. You're going to reach the towel behind your head, lifting your upper back, turn your opposite shoulder into one bent knee and extend the other leg. Turn to the other side, rotating through the shoulders, keeping the towel behind your head. Really think of twisting through your ribs and your shoulders here. Good. Now let's speed this up. Take it into singles. 1, 2, and out. 2. Good. Inhale. 1, 2. Exhale out. 2. Reach that opposite leg out parallel to the floor, lengthening through the toe. Keep turning through those shoulders. Keep the towel behind your head. Nice job. Now go ahead and just slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. Moving into spine stretch. Sit and hold the towel, flexing both feet, and round the back, pulling the belly into the spine. Inhale, stack the spine, shoulders over your hips, and exhale, draw the abs in, reaching past your toes. Good. As you roll back up, lift through the crown of that head, and exhale, reach the towel past the feet, making sure not to drop the arms down. Exhale, round the spine, abdominals, bring your chest forward. Inhale, stack the shoulders over your hips. Moving on to rotating saw. Extend your arms overhead. Exhale, turn through that upper body. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, turning through the ribs and the shoulders. Inhale, lift up taller. Keep the towel slightly in front of you. Pulled nice and tight. Energy out through your fingers. Good. Now let's take this into a rotating saw. You're going to reach from the waist outside of your leg, rotate and go to the other side. So you want to bend from the waistline, keeping that opposite hip on the floor as you rotate and reach out and over. Keep those feet flexed and go the other way. Good, you're doing great. On your exhale, draw those abs in tighter, ribs come in closer to the spine. Give me one more to both sides. reach from the side of that waist. Good, and finish it. Out and over, and come center. Let's move on to forward stretch. Legs come together, toes are pointed, and you're gonna scoop the towel on top of the thighs as you exhale. Inhale, sit up and reach. Exhale, forward, inhale, lift. Think about using those abdominals to bring your chest right to those thighs. Good, brush the tops of the legs. Inhale, sit up taller, pressing out through the towel, out through the fingertips. Now hold that lifted position, hinge back, keeping the abs in tight. Bend your elbows, pull your shoulder blades back and together, and then extend the arms back out. So make sure you're keeping that neutral spine alignment as you bend your elbows and squeeze the shoulders back and down, and then reach the towel back out in front of your chest. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach it out. The further back you are in the hinge, the more those abdominals are going to work to keep you in this position. Good. Round over your legs and take a rest. Now we want to move to the front part of the mat so we have some room to lie down behind us. Extend your legs wider than hip width apart, flex your feet, and reach the towel over your head. Hinge back, tuck under, roll to the floor. Inhale the arms over your head, and then exhale, roll up through that spine. Scooping the abs into your back, control and reach forward. Come back to that neutral spine and hinge back again. So you want to go back as far as you can. Once you reach that tipping point, you're going to tuck your tailbone under and gently lower yourself to the floor. Exhale as you hinge back. Inhale as you start to roll up. Great job. Now let's go back onto the back and move on to a hip lift. So you're going to lay on the back with the arms extended over your head and pressed into the floor. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling, turning out slightly from your hips. Now exhale, zip up through those abdominals, lift your legs and lower down. So you want to try and get the hips to come off of the floor without throwing the legs up. If the hips don't make it off the ground, just work on getting that tilt through the pelvis, using just those abdominals to do it. Good. Now with control, lift the legs all the way over your head, tucking the toes into the floor. Extend one leg up to the ceiling, pointing the toe, and then flex and lower it back to the floor. Switching legs every time. Make sure you're balanced here on the upper back and shoulders, and your arms stay strongly pressed into the floor. Abs are in tight to support your back. Now this can be an intense stretch for the lower back, so if you're not able to bring the legs all the way over the head, you can just work on lowering and lifting the leg with the hips on the floor. Now carefully roll the hips back to the floor, controlling the legs as you come back down, and then take the legs out on a diagonal and hold them here for teaser prep. Exhale, lift your upper back, reach the towel up towards your feet, and then inhale, come back down. The lower your legs are for this, the more challenging it becomes. Good, now start to bring the legs in as you reach the towel up towards your feet. Exhale, draw the legs in with those abdominals. Inhale, lower them back. Try to take that towel high up towards your feet, lifting the upper back as you draw the legs into your chest. And last time. Great job. Now from here, draw the knees in and slowly sit all the way up. We're going to turn over, lying face down on the mat for back extensions. Hold the towel pulled tight in front of your chest, lift up off the floor, and then lower back down. Try to keep the tops of the feet pressed into the mat, extending through the spine, lifting the chest off of your mat as you exhale on the way up. Good. Pull those shoulders down to your hips. Keep your chin into your chest. Now we're going to extend the legs as we reach the arms out, row back in, and release to the floor. Lift. Take the thighs off the floor, pull it back in, and release down. Now we're working through the entire back side of the body here. Make sure to keep your chin down to your chest so your neck stays long and relaxed. Good. Now take this one up and hold that extended position. Arms stay steady. Flutter kick your legs right and left. Keep the torso as still as you can. Those abs drawn in. Kick, kick, kick through those legs, keeping those toes pointed and the legs long. Swimming here just a couple more seconds and release it to the floor. Good. Press your hips back over your heels and take a stretch for your spine. Next, we're going to move into our plank series. So you can leave your towel on the floor for this one and go ahead and lie down onto your stomach and prop yourself up onto your elbows. Take a deep breath in, shrug your shoulders to your ears, and then exhale, press those shoulders down your back. Inhale those shoulders up. Exhale, press it down. Now go ahead and lift your belly off the floor. Exhale, draw the abs in. Inhale, release it down. As you're lifting the abs in tight, make sure you're also keep pressing down through the shoulders and the back. Now tuck your toes under and let's lift the hips. Exhaling them up, inhaling them down. You can keep those knees lightly tapped into the floor for support. Really brace your abs in tight as you lift that pelvis up. Good. Now let's hold this one at the top and we're going to extend the legs into a full plank position. Alternate tapping one knee at a time, lightly to the floor, keeping your shoulders and hips as square and as still as you possibly can. Just lightly tap the kneecaps here, alternating one leg and then the other. Keep that nice strong plank position and hold it, come down and release. Let's stretch out that abdominal wall quickly, press up onto your hands. And from here, we're going to turn around to face the legs and come to a seated position. So we're going to move into our teaser series next. You want to grab your towel again, and we're going to lay back onto the back. Take the towel first underneath your legs for more support. Now you're going to roll up through your spine, coming up into a V-sit position. Open the chest to the top, roll back down to the floor using those abdominals. Now, if you don't need the towel to help you, you can make this more challenging by reaching the towel up above your head at the top of that V-sit and then rolling back down. Advance it further by extending your legs and rolling up into a full V-sit and coming back down. So now we're into our full teaser series. Remember to progress this at your own pace. You can always keep holding the backs of the legs with the towel as long as you need to until you build the strength to do it on your own. Good. Make sure you're still breathing. Press your shoulders down. Lift the chest at the top and release it. One more. Exhale. Come all the way up. Open that chest and release the legs. Take a stretch forward for your hips. Great job. Now let's move into rowing next. Extend both legs out straight. Point your toes and hold the towel in front of you. Hinge back, making a circle outside of your body, and then sit back up and reach overhead. So think about making a figure 8 here, rowing those arms from side to side, making a circle to the right side of your body and a circle to the left. Exhale as you hinge back. Inhale to sit back up into those arms. Good. One more on both sides. Nice job. Now let's move back into the front side of the body. We're going to do some dolphin push-ups. Set the towel down, turn around to face the mat. Hands wider than shoulder distance apart. Extend one leg behind you. Inhale, point the toe. Exhale, scoop the knee in towards your nose. Reach the leg behind you and go into a push-up. Round the spine, extend the leg, lower, and press. Good. So as you draw that knee in towards your nose, make sure you're exhaling, hollowing the belly into your back. And then you want to lead with the chest as you come down and press away from the floor. Great job. Now go ahead and switch legs. Let's do that on the other side. Exhale, round, and lower. Press away from the floor. Good. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders or your chest. Really use the strength of your arms and your chest to do that push-up. Let's lower onto the elbows and continue to work the lower body. Extend one leg behind you, pointing that toe, lift it up, and then bend it in. So you're going to extend and bend, extend and bend. Try to tap that kneecap behind that supporting knee, squeezing your inner thighs, and then lifting out and up through the back hip and glutes. Good. Now flex that foot, press your heel up to the ceiling, and press through your heel to push up through that leg. Just a tiny little pulse, small range of motion, but you should really be feeling the back cheek. The leg, and let's switch sides. Pointing the other toe behind you, bend and extend through that leg. Think of really squeezing the knees together, using those inner thighs, and then lengthening out through your toe as you reach the leg back behind you. Good. And hold it here. Let's go ahead and flex that foot, bend the knee in, press the heel up towards the ceiling, keep pushing through that heel as if you're pressing it into something as you lift it towards the sky. Make sure you're not sinking into the upper body. Keep those arms strong and pressed into the floor. Nice job. Hips back to your heels. Take a little stretch. Great job. Now let's just finish up with one final stretch. Bring yourself to a seated position. And inhale, stretch out and over to the side. Exhale, lift yourself back to the center. Other way, up and over. And sitting up nice and tall through that spine. Inhale, reach both arms overhead. Bring your palms together. Exhale through heart center. One more time. Nice deep breath in. And congratulations, you just completed Beachbody Pilates.